What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Kane and Ross present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We are expressing what our full capabilities into them may want us in correctional facilities. Brainchild of my child, I am the dad half of this operation. Ross Cooper, as always, rocking with the best, my co-host, and we have a special guest. But of course, first and foremost, my co-host, please introduce yourself to the folks.
When I think about what path to take, I used to laugh and say, "No man's an island, but I'm a castaway." Yeah, well, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, week, month, year, hour, minute, second, all that good stuff. If you're watching on other platforms, please share with your friends, family, enemies, your pets, and all that. If you're watching on YouTube, please share, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because if you don't, the elephant's gonna fall on your house. So if you don't want an elephant to fall on your house, please show the light scared. Just do what I just asked to do. It's free, please. We appreciate your support and all that good stuff. So let's get it.
All right. So I've been waiting for this for a while now. We have a very, very special guest, a friend of mine, very near and dear to my heart. She is just another awesome Black woman that we've had on the show. I don't know where to begin. We go back poetically to Baltimore, something like 2014-ish, but
2011.
2011. Wow, it was that
Yes.
long.
Yes.
Yo, it's
You
been
were one of the first people to ever see me perform in Baltimore.
That's right. That's right. For those who don't know, I do poetry as well. But yeah, this is awesome poet, awesome entrepreneur, super uber educated, Madam VP, Miss Plus Size Maryland as well. I know I'm leaving some out. Wow. I see. I know her. Shelly Says So. Just
I'm a senior vice president now, so it's Madam SVP.
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? I know dope people. Awesome guest to have on the show. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah. We got stuff to get into because you just went to a place I want to go. We talked about that briefly. You went to Iceland, to Reykjavik. I want to go just because my favorite artist is John Lennon, but you went there. What was it like?
It was cold. It was very friendly. Everybody was super duper friendly. It was awesome. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right. And from what I saw posting on social media, you got to see the Northern Lights?
Yes, they came out on our last night. Like, I mean, it was a fairly short trip. I only wanted to do 5 days because I felt like I would get tired of being cold. And so I was like, but I had to go, you have to go in the fall or the winter to see the Northern Lights. I really wanted to see the Northern Lights. So I didn't want to do like a summer trip. So I was like, I'm going to brave it and go in November because I felt like I would have a good chance of it being, season for them to come out, but like hopefully not the winter, you know what I mean? So, right. But the first like 4 or 5 nights that we were there, it was so cloudy that we didn't get like any action. So the last night I was like, please, Northern Lights come out. And we got beautiful pictures. Like it was amazing. Like definitely a bucket list thing where it's just like you're sitting there and it's pitch black and then the sky lights up in colors with like green, a little bit of red, a little bit of purple flash. Like it was super cool.
Oh, that's what's up. No, I'm curious because you're one of like 3 or 4 people that are going to Iceland. When you leave here, was race felt at all? At all?
I mean, as a Black person, we're always aware of race. Like you go places, you're like, is there any other Black people here? You know what I mean? Right. So, it's always, a factor. But did I ever feel that I encountered any racism? No. Was I the only Black person ever? Really? No. Like even when we first, we got to the hotel and we went to the bar there and the bartender was Black. We went to restaurants and there generally might have been like one other, Black couple that was there. So it was never, it's definitely a white place, but it wasn't like you didn't see any other Black people the whole week or anything like that.
Okay, cool. Because like I said, everyone who's winners came back with the same report and said like it's really, really friendly, really, really dope. You got to go. I'm like, all right, cool. Because like I said, I wanted to go anyway. My favorite artist is John Lennon. The Imagine Tower was there. Did you see the Imagine Tower at all, or was that even on the to-do list?
No, it wasn't. My main things were the Blue Lagoon and the Northern Lights, and then we did the Golden Circle. Like we saw some of the Game of Thrones sites, like places where I don't know if you did you watch Game of Thrones?
I did. He did.
Okay, so like most of I don't know if you know this, but most of the stuff that was north of the wall, like most of those scenes were filmed in Iceland. So you can actually go and like hike to the places where they did all that and kind of see the terrain. So I was like, okay, they definitely weren't faking like they were cold. Like it really was cold.
It was cold as hell.
So I was like, yeah, we're north of the wall. Like, no, didn't see any wildlings or anything like that. Everybody was super friendly though.
Okay, so I'm not all right. Fine, I'll watch.
Yeah, race really didn't come up. Like it wasn't like it wasn't mentioned. It didn't come up at all.
That's cool. Okay, so now I feel good about my choice to go to Iceland when I finally go, ideally next year. And now I have more reason to watch Game of Thrones. I'm not watching Game of Thrones because I caught on late. In the first episode, I was at somebody's house and they had it on, and the episode was a dragon. I'm like, whoa, time. So we got a whole ass dragon. All right, I'm good. I'm good. Y'all got dragons in here. And I tried to sit down and watch it, I think last year. I saw the first episode and I'm like, all right, so this is white peopling, just a whole bunch of murder, death, killing, raping, pillaging. Yes. And history's kind of showed us how that's played out. I'm good. But okay, I'll watch. It
is white peopling, but it takes like 3 episodes to get it. Because the first time, like my husband had been watching it, and then I was like, let me try to watch. And I watched the first episode, and I was like, I don't even understand what's going on here. It's like, because there's so many characters, it's like hard to like immediately get into it. So you got to give it like 3 or 4 episodes to
see it. It's got some of the greatest fight scenes in TV show history. So you got to watch it.
Yeah. Telling you. I feel like you would like it if you watched it.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a shot because right now my top 2 TV shows of all time, tied for first, The Wire and Sons of Anarchy. Like that's just bar none. But okay, I'll give it a shot. Somewhere in that list, right now, Shameless still makes my top 5. Am I the only person that's seen Shameless?
No, I've seen Shameless. My husband loves that show. I've only seen a couple of them.
Oh my God, it is so, because ironically the racial dynamic, like all of this hood stuff is happening to a white family. It's so wild. Like, really? And shout out to Terry. Your husband is awesome, yo. That dude, I only know him peripherally through posts and social media. When I come back to Baltimore, I gotta hang out with that guy because he's freaking hilarious.
He keeps me entertained.
I understand. I understand. All right. Heavy stuff for a moment. It came out a couple days ago that the city of Aurora will be paying Elijah McClain's family $15 million. Still up in the air whether or not the pigs that caused all this, they all were indicted. I'm not sure where we're going with it, but $15 million, that obviously the money's not gonna replace him. You can't, but such a sweet, gentle soul that this young man was, and to have him tragically killed in what fashion he was. But 15 mil, I'll let you have the floor first. 15 mil to me seems about just, but what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know how you put a price on a life. So, I don't have a strong thoughts about the number itself. Mm-hmm. I think I read that it was one of the largest settlements in history. Yep. So, comparatively, that sounds like a very good thing, but it's like, there's no number you can place on a life. So the number to me is less important than the idea of taking responsibility. But the piece of it that always bothers me in all of these cases is, when the city pays out, that is the citizens paying out, right? And good so point. Who's paying that? Just the people who live in Aurora. You know what I mean? And so should they be paying for it, right? Like, where should the money come from? I feel like, honestly, when these types of things happen, it should come from police pension directly.
Yeah, I'm with it, right? FOP. Kane, I sent you an article, 15 million. What you think, man?
I think that's That's a big number. It's good. Like she said, you can't put a price on a life because the person's no longer with us, and 15 million is not going to bring them back from the dead. But I mean, the true goal is not the payouts, but to finally have some peace, and hopefully we don't have any more victims. That's what the goal should be. And it's sad, but you take care of the family, yes, but they're still missing a person. So the end goal is to not have this happen anymore. So once hopefully that can happen in my lifetime. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it does. And we won't have this issue no more. But sadly, we probably will. And there will be more bodies until we fix the system. But hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. So we got ways to go. But this is a step in the right direction, though. And the pigs should be charged too, not just pay out and then they walk or they just get fired. Like, no, they should be prosecuted for the full extent of the law. The law. But
there you go.
But yeah, we should have both, not just either one. Either they get prosecuted and you don't get paid, or you get paid and they don't get prosecuted. So hopefully we get both.
I mean, I think, and you and I have disagreed about this, sir. As I told you, George Floyd was a watershed moment, and it takes one. That was the one. Derek Chauvin was the one. He was not just, I don't believe, just a sacrificial lamb, but that's the first domino to fall. 15 million, as you both have said, does not replace a life, obviously, but it's the largest settlement ever. So when you start looking at the aggregate of things, huge settlement, everyone involved, not just the pigs, but I do believe the paramedics have all been indicted. So we'll see how that goes. Chauvin was the first domino to fall. We are slowly moving towards what I hope is a change culture. I mean, last I know, that George Floyd policing bill is still stuck somewhere in Congress and hasn't been passed, but it's been a year. Biden's only been in office a year, right? Let's be hopeful, right? Yeah. Let's everybody be hopeful.
Yeah, and those student loan debt too. Yeah, so you said that.
Biden sleep. Like, Biden sleep somewhere.
Uncle Joe, as you would say.
I mean, it's. I have no, gotta give credit where credit is due. I'm not gonna do the obvious thing that a lot of Dems do, which is, well, no matter what, it's better than the other guy. I'm not gonna do that. But I do finally personally know a couple folks that have had student loan debt forgiven. Campaign promise fulfilled.
I don't.
I actually know one.
Wow. One. Not how many.
I'm just saying, there's been billions, I think millions, hundreds of millions of dollars of student loan
debt. But it's not at the macro level that it's supposed to happen. I think what they're doing so far is sort of making good on some of the previous promises, but it's not like anything new. So we'll see. I ain't got a lot of hope for student loan forgiveness, though, to be honest.
I don't either.
Like, not at any significant level.
See, I know it's gonna sound, but it was a campaign promise. You gotta fulfill your campaign promises, right?
Do you?
Yeah, your promises to your
you only
friends.
would need to if you wanted to be reelected, and he's too damn old to be reelected. He won't make it to the next election. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, he might make it physically, but mentally, that Alzheimer's is lurking. So,
it's a wrap.
like right there, like, is it time? It's almost. Is it time? Like, so I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's why I'm not too worried about the other guy, because you're like, Trump 2024, like, he's gonna be a fossil by then. Are you serious?
Just like you.
Oh, we got jokes.
Well, evil never dies. So
you're gonna be looking like the Emperor from Star Wars.
Yeah, he'll be around.
Oh gosh, I'm so fingers crossed, but Okay. George Floyd policing bill. Will it get done before his term is up? I'm hopeful. I'm just hopeful on that one. The other thing that we have to touch on because it happened and I didn't want to not touch on it. The tragedy in with Travis Scott and AstroWorld. 10 deaths. There's a $750 million lawsuit that's been filed.
It's up to 2 billion.
I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
2 billion.
You can't file it too. Well, I guess you can file it, but
that Negro ain't got $2 billion.
That's what I'm saying. Where is that coming from?
You don't think that little Negro got $2 billion?
No.
But I mean, it's a cacophony. It's a comedy of errors, as they say. Like, I'm sure there's last I saw, they're suing him. They're suing Drake. I don't know what Drake has to do with it exactly, but they're suing Drake. They're suing the promoters, of course. Like everybody, you get a lawsuit. You get a lawsuit. So collectively, it's $2 billion in there somewhere. But how do you? Okay, hold on, let me stop. Am I the only person that hasn't heard Travis Scott music? You two have.
I have no idea what he sings.
Okay, cool.
I've heard it. No, I haven't heard it, but
what's his most popular song? Just so I can see if I know it, because I don't think that I do know anything.
Damn, I don't remember the name of the damn songs. I know the song, I just don't know the name of it.
You suck, yo.
You got Sicko Mode with Drake on it. There you go. That was big.
Oh, okay.
How'd it go? So you gotta sing it so I can know.
You want me to sing?
Bars,
oh boy.
Spit some bars, yo. Spit some bars.
No. Nope, I ain't gonna have it. You ain't gonna set me up for that.
Oh man, you can't just give me like the hook or something. I was just trying to see if I actually recognize anything.
It's like, how did it go? Something in the Sicko Mode. And then the beat switches. And then
you ain't gonna
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the goddamn lyrics to that shit, man.
But yeah, I don't think I knew who Travis Scott was.
I probably did because of the Kardashian that he dates.
No, I try not to know who they are.
Right.
Although I do. I try
Kylie.
I don't know how deep down the rabbit hole we can go on that one, but I'm still stuck at listen, brothers, fellow black men everywhere. The track record ain't good, boys and girls. Track record ain't good, bros. I can't think of one brother that then got themselves entangled with a Kardashian or Jenner and the story ended well. I'm just
not even for white people. It didn't end well for them either.
Oh damn, really?
Hey, I'm just saying it didn't end well for a lot of people. It wasn't just brothers.
Yeah, for anybody, yeah. And I don't know if I want to blame the women for what men do. I feel like they're stupid men who make stupid decisions, and that might also lead to them messing with the Kardashians. But I don't want to blame the Kardashians for the men. The grown adult males' actions.
Yeah, but they are like vampires. They suck the life out of you. Pause.
I mean, then we get wow.
I ain't mean that way.
Wow.
Your life energy and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. And this.
I don't think they do because we saw the tape and it wasn't that impressive.
Bars.
I don't think that's
bars. Wow. Okay.
All right.
I'm the one living person that I refuse to watch that tape. But wow.
Why? It's like a pop culture, it's a pop culture reference point.
I'm old enough to remember the Tommy Lee, Pamela Anderson tape. Didn't see that neither. Because I'm like, oh. But
yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I think we're both better people for having not. But it's just where I was going with that was okay. So since you've heard Travis Scott, is this music for adults, kids? Like what? Where are we at, Kane? Like, is this music that kids can listen to or not?
I mean, yeah, kids do listen to it. So I
don't think there's any music that's made for kids.
It's not made for kids, but kids will listen to it. Like there was kids at the show that died.
And that's the part I'm trying to figure out. Like, by no means am I placing blame, but was this supposed to be an adult show that people brought kids to, or was it kid friendly?
It can be kid friendly. You know, it's a show. He not like freaking MOP with it.
I mean, I'm not bringing.
But
I'm not
does
bringing
he
it.
curse and talk? Does he curse? Is it bitches and hoes in the thing?
Sometimes, but for in shows you can blurt that out. You know, they have clean versions of songs nowadays.
But it's not for kids. It's nothing that you would be like, oh, let me take my kids to.
I don't think so. But with him, it's a whole event thing. Like it's a whole show thing that could be for everybody, technically, if you wanted to. But it's still sad that like I said, the children's got killed. That's yeah. I already knew lawsuits was coming.
There's a 9-year-old. Last thing I saw was a 9-year-old that ended up being a death. And I'm not placing blame. Like, was this a show for a 9-year-old? Like,
now 9-year-olds.
I don't think wild. I don't think 9.
That's wild.
If he was a teenager, that'd be different.
Yeah, like I don't understand why you taking 9-year-olds to anything that's not like Sesame Street.
I mean,
like, maybe to the JoJo Siwa show or whatever. But like, if you're 9, you really don't need to be at no rap concert.
Yeah, you know.
The parents is wrong for that. That the parents is wrong for that.
And I feel horrible because from what I was told, it was a bonding thing between the father and the son, maybe. And I'm like, I don't know. And it's just, but I just saw what you said though. I pulled it up. I was trying to find some Travis Scott music. But first thing that comes up is $2 billion lawsuit. I don't know.
See, told you. It's up to $2 billion.
Oh boy.
So is he currently with Kylie Jenner?
Yeah, to my knowledge, yeah.
I don't know.
To my knowledge, yes.
I don't know.
And they just took
that's not the baby. That's not the baby daddy though.
I thought it was.
He's a baby daddy.
Okay.
And it's just a
so maybe she's going her purse, child.
Pretty much. I mean, they got you know, as Ken would say, the Canadian cannoli, Champagne Poppy. He part of the certified lover boy. He part of this suit. He got some coin.
Not $2 billion.
I can't do a grown adult man with a heart cut into his hair. Like I don't
think that was dope? I thought that was dope.
No, sir. That's the most light skinned shit I've ever seen in my life.
It is.
And I don't understand.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah, she said, yeah, it is.
Like, bro,
you don't see 50 Cent walking around with it.
Drake is like 35. Why are you doing this, sir?
Because I thought it was clever.
You are a 35-year-old grown adult black man with a heart cut into your hair. Why?
So if you were single and you was in the club, he couldn't get the number with the heart with the waves and the heart. Not. Oh wow. That is hilarious.
She said it, not me.
Okay, all right. No heart cut in the hair. I'm like, Big Daddy Kane had the 3 cuts in the eyebrows, trying to wild out. You know what I mean?
It wasn't heart.
Okay, but yeah, AstroWorld. That is tragic. Where I was trying to get to, because it's all ballpark, it's all relative, it's all speculative. What percentage of blame would we assign Travis Scott? Like, it's an epic fail on every point. But ultimately, you are the performer. You create the energy. You've been on stage. I've been on stage. You know, if you're doing a militant piece, you're going to get everybody riled up. You're doing a sex piece, you're going to get everybody in the mood to do some things. As a performer, you kind of control the energy. And his show's energy are typically high charged and, you know, a certain rebellious spirit in the atmosphere. So I'm like, me personally, if I gotta put a number on this, I'm thinking I'm somewhere around 40%. I'm putting 40% on this on Travis. Where are you at?
I feel like I don't completely understand like all of the circumstances, because to me it's mind-boggling. It's like, what did he know and at what point did he know it? Because to me it's mind-boggling that pandemonium could start happening, people start getting hurt. And like, obviously, like if the folks who are running the venue realize that it's happening, security knows that it's happening. At some point, you would think his management knows, and like at some point, even if you couldn't see anything, because I can understand if you are in a very large place, you can't see every individual pocket that something might be going a little bit too far. But it's baffling to me that there was no ability for anyone to communicate anything to him, for him to know that people were actually hurt. And so I want to understand, at what point did he realize that people were actually hurt? And did he continue at that point? Like, it's not clear to me.
I'm just like and it's just, it's a failure all the way around. Like you said, security and such, but I'm like, bro. And then I said, I don't know where we go to, because his shows have been known to be a little bit of pandemonium, but the promoters booked that. So it's like,
right.
Where do we?
But they also say he encourages it, in the same way that I think Trump did, right? In a lot of ways, in terms of inciting the audience to act in certain ways. So I do think it's similar. But I haven't read every article or like studied it to the depth to like really understand how much he recognized and like when he knew it, to assign the level of culpability. And that's gonna be like he encourages an environment where danger would be lurking.
Like, you might get an elbow to the face. Welcome to the mosh pit. Kane, ballpark, what you got?
I think it's 50. 50.
Ooh, that's big. That's a big number.
No, it's not that big, because there was video of evidence of him knowing what was going on, and he didn't stop. Yeah, he knew. And he didn't stop. He encourages this type of behavior. It's called raging. And people was raging out. And he was like, yeah, let's go. Didn't stop. He looked at it, kept going, and just kept going, kept it moving.
Yeah, so I feel like at the point that he knew, anything that happened after that point, that's on
him. Yeah,
that's on you.
Yeah, that's why I said 50. But the other 50 goes to the venue, because it was way overcrowded, and security got overwhelmed, and people ran through the gate, and they couldn't hold all those people. And of course, something's going to happen when a place is overcrowded and the crowd is electric. And yeah, stuff like that was going to happen. So it's 50-50. I blame the venue because they weren't prepared. I don't know why they weren't prepared, because it's Travis Scott. And this is the type of environment he has at his concerts. And 50% goes to him because, like I said, there's video evidence of him basically seeing what was happening. He didn't stop. He didn't say, whoa, chill out. He kept it going.
So he needed his ass beat.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. I wasn't going that far, but if I was the freaking father or parent of a child that died in a concert, yeah, you gonna have to see me.
I mean, we're talking about the 10 deaths, but let's not forget the countless injuries. Like, you got 50 people running over your face. You're not dead, but you might wish you were. That's gonna be painful. So it's not just the 10 people that lost a life. It is also the injuries. Like, that's cracked ribs, this, that, and the third. I'm suing you. I'm absolutely suing you. But if you are in fact correct in this video that he was aware of all of this and continue, then yeah, I gotta go 50-50 on that one. That's way up there. That is tragic. This just then, sadly, a couple days ago, I think it was yesterday, or actually 2 days ago, we learned of the untimely murder of Young Dolph. Again, another artist whose music I am not familiar with. I'm kind of on a Joe Budden tip. I don't really rock with the youngs and the littles. Just product of the times I'm from. But it makes it interesting for me because it's like,
little. That's funny.
Yeah, that's a Joe Budden thing. Like, if you young anybody, little anybody, I probably don't know your music.
Lil Kane on the track. All right, go ahead.
But it made it interesting to me to hear about the murder of Young Dolph because, well, I'm not familiar with his music. All I got was who he was as a person and the father he was and the partner he was and what he was trying to do in the community in Memphis. It's interesting because I just read an article literally the day before about per capita, Memphis is America's most dangerous city, which is crazy to me, but there's somewhere north of 300 murders. And I'm like, then the very next day, Young Dolph was murdered. And it's like, I don't, one, the overtones, the similarities between him and Nipsey are scary. Both guys that were, I guess, came from street life, but did something different, did something better, trying to do something for their communities, and then to be murdered in your hometown is insane. But it's like, what do we? My question, and not to play the old head card, but do we think rap is still a good thing overall, mainstream? Like, do you think rap is still overall good?
I mean, rap is just an art form, right? So, you know, you could rap about anything. So, I would have a hard time blaming hip hop itself for anything, but you certainly have a level of culpability as an artist and as an entertainer for what messages you choose to put into the world. Right. And what you choose to promote. So I do think that we as artists have a certain level of culpability for what we put out there.
Right. And I'm like, yeah, because that's the part where I get a little divided at. It's like, I, grew up through the 80s. I'm almost as old as hip hop is. And it's like, on the one end, I'm geeked that one of the hardest groups out right now is Griselda from my hometown. On the other end, I'm like, I can't just completely ignore like the biggest, the bulk of Benny the Butcher's catalog is pretty much Pusha T 2.0. And it's like,
yeah,
when you put that energy out there, but this, we gotta do better. But we had a conversation.
I can't listen to. It's just like, all right, this is not interesting. I'm over it. Like, can y'all think of something new to say?
That's the thing. I said, listening to mainstream rap, because if you dig into crates, you find other stuff. But listening to mainstream rap, it requires you to shut off parts of your brain. It requires a certain suspension of common sense that I'm not necessarily capable of anymore, because I've heard nigga bitch hole. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah, like how many more drug entendres can there be left? I think that we have exhausted them all.
Right. And right.
We
like, how many quick connects in Colombia can you have?
A lot.
And that, they went from selling drugs to doing drugs. It's just weird. Like, it's just weird.
We can't continuously glorify that. But Kane, what do you think, man? We changed the context and the texture of the music. We get different outcomes in our hoods.
No. It's something that I can't believe I'm quoting this, but something that Lil Boosie said, and it's true.
Whoa!
Is that the person you want to quote?
No, right, I'm saying even crazy people have points like you should probably listen to. It be your own people. Like sometimes you got, if you from this hood and you blow up, it be haters there. So sometimes you got to move away from it or just visit. You probably shouldn't stay in the hood that you came from, because like I said, it do be your own people, and they be the one that's really jealous or envious of you, and that can be fatal. We've seen that, like you said, you mentioned Nipsey. There's been another person, they Lil Scooter here in Baltimore. He got killed here. Like there's tons of rappers that when they start to blow up or get some buzz, and if they was in the streets, they come back, they can get killed. So
now I don't think that hip hop is the reason that the hood is the hood, right?
No,
like
no. The hood is the hood
rap
because
is the reason that niggas be getting killed at a macro level.
No.
Like it's not.
It's not. No, I'm not implying that at all. I'm saying like when you do blow up or if you do get some type of wealth or whatever, it is probably best in your interest to leave. And I'm not saying you can't come back, you can't visit, but don't be there too long and be very cautious of what you have around you, and you're probably gonna have to have security and all that good stuff. But yeah, rap is just like you all said, it's an art form, and people rap about what they know. And if you're a street dude, this is what you know. This is what you grew up on. So this is what you're gonna talk about. You might not know about many other things. It might take a minute for you to mature and learn about another way of life, like a Jay, like a Joel Ortiz, Yawa. But yeah, it takes time. So,
but there's also people who didn't necessarily grow up in their life who pretend like they did, because that's what we have created as the idea of what's cool.
And that's
the problem. That's the piece that I take issue with, right? We cultivate this idea that this is the life that is cool. And that's the part that is dangerous and detrimental.
Yeah. Like I said, I was actually about to say, I'm glad you said that. But yeah. There is, like I said, there is people who have nothing about that life, who aren't about that life, that rap about that life, because that's what's in style, or that's what was cool. And that's lame as hell.
Like, I'm pretty sure, I think the Migos are from the suburbs, right? Like,
oh, I don't know about the Migos. You mean you talking about Bone Thugs and Harmony 2.0?
Bone Thugs and Harmony -1.5.
They are from college educated middle class families in the suburbs. That's my understanding.
And Clarence's parents had a real nice marriage. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
This guy's a gangster. His real name is Clarence. 8 Mile.
Right. Totally an 8 Mile moment. Like, wow. And they out here in these streets. Okay. All right. Y'all ain't from Bankhead like T.I. Okay.
Nah.
Wow. But it's oof. I'm not mourning the loss of a rap artist. I'm mourning the loss of what appeared to be a pillar in the community. And this has gotta stop, man. We gotta do better. And I absolutely think we can. I'm always the eternal optimist in all of this, but we gotta do better. And like you said, when you get past a certain point, it's like, I've heard the hood tales and this, that, and the third. We gotta move forward. But I didn't want to not speak on the tragedy that is his murder. I certainly hope the killers are brought to justice and not street justice, because that's not going to help matters. Rest in peace, young Dolph. Speaking of interesting things, the other thing that's going on in the news, and this is going to be a percentage-based thing. I'm not sure how much either of you have been watching the respective trials for Kyle Rittenhouse, and the murderers of Ahmaud Arbery. And I'm like, I stopped watching about a couple days in, because I'm like, this some bullshit. But I said on this show, I predicted Rittenhouse gets at least 10 years. I'm still standing by that. You can't kill two people and just be like, oh, well, you're getting 10. Should he get life? Probably. I still say he's getting at least 10. What are your thoughts?
Breaking news. Did you look at your phone? And since we've been on here?
No. What happened?
Kyle Rittenhouse acquitted on all charges.
I told you.
As of 10 minutes ago.
I told you. What did I tell you? I was right.
You gotta be shitting me right now.
I seen the news blurb too. Hold on.
I only watched a teeny bit of the trial, but the teeny bit that I saw, I was like, yeah, he getting off. Because the judge was clearly quite friendly towards the defense, quite hostile towards the prosecution. I think there's a lot of issues with the judge, in the case. And I feel like he's, they want to frame it as him being a young child or whatever. But I think the fact of the matter is, you don't carry a gun across state lines because you don't want to hurt anybody, right? Like, you left your house with a gun to go to a whole other place Because you wanted to get into some action and you wanted to be able to shoot somebody. Period. Like, and he did what he wanted to do.
See, I think he should have been charged with something, just not what he got charged with. Like I said, him and his mom should have been charged with something for bringing his ass over there. He shouldn't have been there in the first place. That's what he should be charged for. But the actual murders itself, like I said, we watched the video. We seen the lawyer break it down, my brother that is, break it down and say that is self-defense. I told you he was going to get less than 10. I said he might even get acquitted. I told you. And it's not because of them little crocodile tears he was crying on the stand, which is some bullshit. But nah, I told you, just based on the charges, he was not going to get any serious time at all because it is technically
he didn't even get a gun charge.
Law.
He didn't even get a gun charge. He got acquitted on everything.
That's what I'm saying. He should have got something. Now that part I agree. He should have got something. He shouldn't have walked scot-free. But on the murder charge itself, I told you. We watched the same video, Father. He was going to get. It was going to be portrayed as self-defense. And you know how they do with caucus people on the stand, especially young ones. It will make him look like the victim. So, yeah. I called. I'm not happy about the shit because he should be charged with something. But I'm trying to, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you. I told you it was going to happen. I told you.
I am glad you two were here to talk because honestly, I've been trying to collect my thoughts for the last few moments. What you see in me now is a face of shock and disgust. Listen, time to mention a couple uncomfortable truths. There is a hierarchy on the value of life in this country. And if you kill a Black woman, you're going to get maybe some time. Kill a Black man, maybe some time. Kill a white woman, you're probably getting some time. You kill a white man in this country, you get time. It's a truism. The charges and penalties play out to support it. It is a fucking truism. You kill white people, white men in this country, you get time.
But he was caucus too. So it's not like a Black man did it.
I'm looking at the fact there are not one, but two white people, white men dead. How do you walk from that?
Because they were nigger lovers. Essentially.
Oh yeah, that could
is it 1955?
You know what I mean? They weren't good old boys. They weren't, you know what I mean? He killed some nigger lovers. Oh well, they shouldn't have been down there, you know, helping out the Black folks or defending the Black folks, protesting for Black folks. So
like I said, he should have been charged with something. I told you this. I tried to warn you, get you prepared for this outcome. Now
you tried to get him ready.
I tried. He never listens to me, and I'm always right. But but yeah. Now on the other case, like the Aubrey case, if somebody walks from that, I'm gonna lose my mind.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
I'm gonna lose because they flat out, straight out, on camera, executed that man. Predator. You hunted him down and you executed him.
Exactly.
What? There's nothing to talk. And
but George Zimmerman did the same thing.
Yeah, he did. He did. And that's scary. Why it's so similar. And from someone I talked to who watches some of the cases, there's like they drew the comparison. Like they really think they Judge Dredd. Like the whole story was. Oh, we had some break-ins. Oh, we're just trying to keep crime low in our neighborhood. That's why we saw him, and then we had to make sure everybody was safe. And I felt scared for my life. You know, scared for your life. You know,
there you go.
People say I felt afraid. So yeah, it's like nah, it's so similar, and I hope none of them walk. Please.
Oh, I think it's next to impossible because the clip I saw. It was a clip on Brother Sean King and Lee Merritt's page. Oh, the prosecutor ate his ass. Like, it was bad. The prosecutor ate his ass one good time. Like, stop, please. You know what I mean? Jesus.
The show is this.
We already was talking about some damn tape and stuff. Pause, man. What's going on?
But nah, like prosecutor Flat was like, so did he pull a weapon? No. Did he threaten you at all? No. All he did was run. All he was doing was running. You just put the nail in your own coffin, sir. Thank you. This is why prosecutors make what they make. You just put the nail in your own coffin. Just walks you right down the gallows. You're about to hang yourself. So there's no chance. There's
like is
zero.
Jogging illegal in where you live? Because
he had headphones in his ear, if I remember correctly. Like he was going for a run.
Regular jogging shit, yeah.
Right. So how are you supposed to hear you and your good old boy calling his name, and then you follow him and you corner him, then you kill him? Like what's going on?
Then you call him an effing nigger after he's dead, and then you sit on this evidence for you're done. You're bye. You're done. You're done. It's a wrap. I'm sorry. I can't believe this kid walked. I walked. Not a charge. Not a.
Told you.
So you can kill white people as long as you're a white person? Is that what we can deduct from this?
I guess so. Yeah. Unless you like kill like mad
kill
people.
white people that associate with black people.
Touche. So that's all right. So it was gonna be what are the odds Rittenhouse walks? Well, I guess that's 100% that he walks. I'm just. This is wild. Shelly, I don't know if you remember, you remember where you were in certain moments. I remember it being at Be Free when we all found out Gil Scott Heron died, like in real time. Like, wow, Gil Scott Heron died. And this is by nowhere near on comparison, but it's just like, we're in the middle of doing a podcast talking about this very thing, and this kid walks.
What a beautiful time.
Well, hopefully, like you said, justice will be served for Ahmaud.
Mm-hmm. They're toast. They're getting roasted for sure.
Family.
They're getting roasted.
But it's like, how do you change the system?
You gotta burn it down. It's like when I hear policing reimagined, or we need to rethink policing. Policing is literally the descendant of slave catching. There's no reimagining it. You tear it down and you redo it. It's the descendant of slavery, slave catching. Like there is no policing reimagined. No.
Yeah.
How about I imagine your ass is gone for good? This defund, disband.
Yeah, we should burn the system down, but like I said before to you off air, it's like you can burn a building down, but you got to have some insurance. So we need a new plan in order to replace this. Yeah, and I'm saying you can probably mix, honestly, in my perspective, you can probably mix capitalism with socialism and find a balance between the two. So people don't have to live without. There's no poverty. There's no this, that, and the third, or whatever. Well, but
the progressive Dems are trying to do that now, and to your point, and even Shelly just experienced it. A lot of the answers we can find in other places during this pandemic. Other countries found a way to supplement people's basic income. So because you can't tell everybody, hey, go in the house, stay in the house. It's a pandemic. Don't go to work. Oh, by the way, we're gonna give you like $1,200 in a year.
Yeah, most of the Nordic countries, there's no poverty. It's just not. It's not a thing, right? Like it's literally impossible for you to starve to death unless you're like protesting, doing some sort of starvation protest or whatever, right? But the social safety nets are such that there's no poverty.
Yeah, and yet we're the greatest country on the planet, right?
Air quotes.
I didn't see any homeless people in Iceland. Like,
wow.
I think they got free healthcare too, stuff like that.
Yeah, they have free everything, free healthcare down there, like free heat and stuff because they use all of the energy that's in the ground and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's expensive there, right? Like the price of things is higher, but that's because, everybody is employed and makes a decent wage.
You take care of your fellow man. Your fellow man is taken care of.
Right.
Sure.
And in all those countries, like taxes are high, right? But there's no poverty, right? So there's, that's what you get for that. American culture is built on an idea of selfishness that will not allow us to get there.
Yeah, everybody wants to be rich.
Like I said,
well, it's not just that everyone wants to be rich. It's that we literally just don't care if other people are poor as long as we're fine. Like we literally don't care about the health and well-being of our fellow citizens. Like we do not give a single solitary fuck about if our neighbor is starving, if they can get insulin, we just don't care. Like, you know what I mean? So we're just like, we view it as a personal failure and a personal problem, right? So they look at that person that can't afford something and they say, oh, well, you should have worked harder. You should have, studied harder. You should have done better. That's your personal failure. And we are unwilling to build systems that make it so that you can't fail, to that extent.
Yep.
Right? We want everyone to have to work for basic
right.
things.
Bootstrap theory
for you.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah, that's capitalism for you, and that's why we are still
and they ain't got no boots.
Yeah.
Like, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. I don't have any boots, sir.
I got no boots.
Like,
help! I have fallen and can't get up.
See, I will take
life alert.
Give me some boots, then I could try.
I will take a moment to shout out my Congress Bay, AOC, Progressive Dems. Bring us all back. Green New Deal. Let's go. Well, at least I hope. Am I the only one enjoying am I the only joyous AOC supporter here? Okay, fine.
He's all right. I mean,
right, I don't care.
Listen. Started off as a waitress in the BX, is still amongst the people. First congressperson to make sure all of her staff makes at least $50K a year. Is on a list of Congress people who take no corporate money. This is what we want, right? Someone who is from the people and still for the people.
No, I like her as an idea. I don't agree with everything. I don't necessarily agree with all of her plans, but she's fine. Like, I don't have anything against her. I don't want her gone or anything like that. I'm just not a super fan.
Okay, all right. Went to the Met Gala in a dress that says "Tax the Rich." Ow! Okay, I'm being a fanboy.
Yeah,
I'm being a
that's
fanboy.
gonna happen.
It actually could.
And I don't mind taxes. Like if I feel like there's something positive coming out of it.
Yeah,
do I want to pay taxes to pay police settlements for murders? No. Would I pay for universal health care? Yes. Would I pay for higher education to be free? Yes. Like, there are things that I'm willing to pay for.
Yeah, it's not like that. So it's like, what are we paying for?
Right.
Let's just give it
for the military first and foremost.
Yeah, because we need to protect ourselves from the
Don't
threat.
you feel safe? Hey, true story. After 9/11, the Department of Homeland Security was created. True or false? There have been no more attacks on U.S. soil from that point to this one. Don't you feel safer?
It'd be from your own people.
We shoot up schools every day.
It'd be from our own people. What are you talking about?
Not secure.
We got domestic terrorists to deal with. Where are they then?
Yeah, they shot up the kindergarten.
Oh, damn. But it was the Taliban. See, that's the difference. It wasn't the Taliban.
Wow, so, yeah, you looking outside, and then meanwhile, there's a freaking tiger in your house. Yeah, that makes sense.
Department of Homeland Defense. That's why you get the body screens at the airport. Can't nobody blow you up in the sky no more. See, your tax dollars are hard work. I can barely say that with a straight face. But anywho.
We are so backwards. Like every developed country has certain things. Every developed country pretty much has universal health care. Every other developed country has maternity leave. Even most undeveloped countries, there's literally only like 2 or 3 countries left who don't have paid maternity leave. And we're one of them.
Right. And it's like, that's just the most retarded thing ever.
Like, that's sad. That's very, very sad.
Oh, beyond sad. Like, most in paternity leave, like, dads go home spend time with kids. No, absolutely not. But yeah, it's this place is just it's weird. Speaking of weird, so apparently I was the only one who saw the Big Bird tweet. So on reading out November 6th, Big Bird, that's right, the big yellow bird we all grew up on Sesame Street. Big Bird tweeted, I got the COVID-19 vaccine today. My wing is feeling a little sore, but it'll give my body an extra protective boost that keeps me and others healthy. And Miss Erica Hill even said, I've been getting vaccines since I was a little bird. I had no idea.
About to grow a third wing.
Stop, yo. Stop. I don't know what's more interesting. The fact that Big Bird was used to promote the vaccine, or the fact that Ted Cruz and a shit ton of other Republicans lost their shit responding to Big Bird. It's funny until you realize how sad it is, or it's sad until you realize how funny it is. I'm not sure which one. I'm still like, you use Big Bird to push the vax? Like,
I'm not
being neutral, just being neutral. Like, I don't know, that seems like a little bit much.
Well, they said they did the same thing for MMR. They said they used that because Sesame Street's been around for 50, 60 years now. Right. And so they said that, I think I read that Sesame Street was also used when like the MMR vaccines came out. Measles, mumps, rubella that we all got to start school. Okay. And so there's some precedent. So it's not the first time that Big Bird has been used in that way. So it's interesting. I don't know. I can see both sides of it. I mean, because on the one hand, like typically Sesame Street is used to like explain things to kids that might be hard for them to understand, or like get them used to the idea. So like Big Bird helping a kid understand, hey, this is, something for me to get now that might hurt a little bit, but it's to protect me from later. Like, I understand that. At the same time, it's not up to a kid to get a vaccine, it's up to their parents. So it's like, do we advertise? Should we be advertising in a way to the kids if it's ultimately something that they can't decide for themselves? Their parent has to make that decision. I don't know. So I can see both sides of it, but Sesame Street tackles a lot of different conversations first and tries to make it so that a 3-year-old can like process it, understand it.
So I'm like, okay, like I said, the neutral piece to me, whether my stance on vaccine or not, is like, you use Big Bird, but wait a minute, Ted Cruz, you really spent time tweeting back at Big Bird. Did anyone? Oh, humans. Like, what? I wish I would be like.
Yeah, so they said apparently in 1972 there was a Big Bird vaccination video about measles, mumps, rubella.
I guess I can't be mad at that point. This ain't the first
we
time
all got
Bird
it.
did it.
Like, you couldn't start school without that.
Right. So I can't be mad at it. Kane, when I told you Big Bird tweeted about the vax, what'd you think, sir?
Like, kids be knowing, man. Like, because when I was a little lad, a long time ago, not as long as him, but a long time ago.
You just always throwing shots at the age. All right.
Because you always remind me how young I am. So I got just a little warning shot. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Not this track. It's coming though. But I'm joking. But yeah, when I was a little lad, it's like, yeah, I always liked Elmo better.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't like Big Bird?
No, I like Elmo's probably the reason why my favorite color is red. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's probably why.
Like, Elmo became the star in the later years.
Yeah.
I always liked Cookie Monster.
Yeah, he was cool too. Yeah, he was cool too.
But I like the Big Bird movie. Like, if you ever saw the Big Bird movie, Follow That Bird.
Yeah, I couldn't stand Big Bird. And now I was right. I knew I couldn't stand Big Bird for a reason. And now here it is. But Yeah, it's crazy. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know why they're trying to brainwash kids into this idea. They can't even take it yet. Well, not yet. They're close to. But
It's
I mean, hey, shout out to you, Big Bird. I didn't even know Big Bird had a damn Twitter. Everybody has a Twitter now.
listen, God probably has a Twitter.
All right,
I don't
buddy.
know who runs it, but God probably has a Twitter if you
Jesus,
check.
white Jesus runs it. I'm not playing.
But also, the target audience for Sesame Street can't read, so I don't think they're.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the point of that? You're
Like,
talking
the
to
target
adults,
audience for Sesame Street hasn't started school yet.
right?
Like
So
it's like 2 to 4.
what is the point of tweeting that? Like, they're gonna see that, like, Daddy, let's go.
I mean, by the way,
The tweet is for grown-ups, or
right.
at least slightly older kids.
By the way, y'all both wrong. Kermit was the coolest Muppet, but anywho, everything. And, yeah, Kermit the Frog was that dude. Kermit the Frog
No, but
was that
Kermit
dude.
was on Muppet Babies.
Yeah, it's Muppets. That's not Sesame Street.
Kermit was on Sesame Street, sir.
No, Kermit was on Muppet Babies.
Right, Muppets and Sesame Street, two different things, my brother.
It's different puppets.
I know it's been a long time.
Really?
But
really?
Geez, man, come on, man.
Kermit was with Miss Piggy and them.
Right, that's the Muppets. That's not
Kermit
Sesame Street.
has been. Don't make me Google this. Kermit has been on Sesame Street.
Yeah,
yo.
maybe
He
like
is
a crossover.
not a character on Sesame Street.
Yeah,
He might
like
have had a guest appearance.
Right.
He was always coming through. It's like
No.
Okay. All right, I'm good.
No.
Now you go.
Sesame Street is Bert and Ernie, Big Bird, Elmo, Cookie Monster, Oscar the Grouch,
The Count.
Right.
Yeah. But Kermit,
the Count. Yeah.
I remember seeing Kermit doing counting with one of the kids. Yeah, he
As
was
a
counting.
guest star, maybe.
He probably did a crossover. Like I
He
said,
had
that's probably
he had the cachet like that. That was Kermit, yo. That was Kermit D. Frog. You know what I'm saying? He had the cachet.
deep wrong.
Kermit. Oh.
Okay. The last piece of this puzzle, this has been fun, but I love this part most, is what we call ask adult black women anything. So after long consideration, I've never gotten asked directly. I gotta go back in time just a little bit. I've always said fuck boys do not come with bumper stickers, right? But I think I stand corrected. The biggest, clearest, I might be a fuckboy bumper sticker is the dude that all of a sudden quotes Kevin Samuels. I'm just curious. You being an awesome sister, you are.
Oh Lord.
Where did you? Because you had a few things go viral, but where did you sit on old Kev and his opinions?
Oh, I went viral because I simply said that Kevin Samuels be dogging these women out on his show, whatever, telling them that they ain't never gonna get no man and why they ain't gonna get no man because he wants all the men for himself. That's what I said. I just felt like he want all the men for himself. That's the vibes and the energy that I get from Kevin Samuels, who likes long walks on the beach and whatever. Right? He's a very, sassy kind of guy. And that got shared to a Kevin Samuels fan group among many other places.
Wow.
And so they flocked to my page to call me everything but a child of God.
Oh my gosh.
And tell me about myself. Everything from, then it became I was gay bashing. And I was like, I never said nothing wrong with him wanting men.
Right.
Saying, I feel as though you like men.
You like the means, and it's okay if you like the means. It's just hard for me to take advice from you.
2 snaps and a twist. Like that's what I get from him. It seems very obvious. I asked a few gay men, and they agreed with me. So I felt like that is what's going on with Kevin. So I just don't understand why a gay man would be the authority on heterosexual coupling, or why you would look to him to be the authority on heterosexual coupling. That baffles my mind.
Blew my mind as well. I was like, I don't quite get it, bro. Like I'm not. And I've had a couple of cats try to break it down for me. And no, see, what you really got to do is watch some videos. You can't just look at the clips. You got to watch all the way through. And I'm like,
They came on my page. They were like, "Well, what's your dress size?" I said, "Size Mary. Get the fuck out my face!" Like, like my size is Mary, sir.
He's nuts.
But yeah,
like, so they came on and said that I was a bitter baby mama, and I was single and lonely and whatever. And I was like, okay, clearly you're new here. So
right. Like, read the room, sir. Read the room.
So it was, but I had a good time. I like fussing with people. So I had a good time going back and forth with them. I got some good jabs and I had a good time. So I like telling people, especially those types of people off. So I'll argue with internet trolls all day long. You ain't gonna out troll me. So you want a war of words? I'm gonna win. So I'm gonna play because I'm gonna win.
Yeah. Yeah, man, because I'm getting the business something totally different now. Everybody coming to me for my steak, but that's a whole nother conversation. Like I don't.
That poor steak.
Have you seen the steak? It is deceptively juicy. See, y'all gonna just remember.
What? It looked like a leather bag or something. I was like, what the hell is this even a picture of?
Okay, Kane, so you're not aware, but I've made my own specialized steak. It's Texas style, hell done. So what you do in true Texas fashion, since everything is bigger in Texas.
Your father is posting burnt steaks on Facebook. That look like leather handbags.
I'm not surprised.
Really, yo? Really? Who you riding with? Like, yo, listen, it's a special way you gotta spice it just right. And whenever you think it's well done, leave it on for like another 5 or 10 minutes. I gave away enough secrets.
Yeah, you want to see some color on your stuff. I know. I've heard that term before.
Like I said, some of us were the kids that like to burn hot dogs at the barbecue. That's all I'm saying.
With me.
Some of us like to burn hot dogs at the barbecue. Oh my gosh. But
that was beyond burnt. It was charred.
Just remember, Salt Bay does not have a Michelin star. Found that out. Gordon Ramsay did not go to formal culinary school. Found that out. Neither did my chef Bay Rachel Ray. So I'm in good company. If Salt Bay can charge you $275 for a gold leaf steak, I can charge you $59.99 for a hell done.
Bird one. Okay.
I'm not buying no burnt ass steak from you.
You might as well just make some burnt ends then.
I can burn the steak myself.
But it's okay. All right. I don't know how we got.
This is why you shouldn't be posting what you cook, man. Just let that go.
I'm trying to show people how to eat clean, sir. It was steak, it was veggies, and
you gotta burn it to eat clean.
They use a already well done cooked steak as a picture. Don't use yours.
Okay, so the original steak in question, it was just bad lighting. That's the thing I keep trying to explain. It was just bad lighting.
Yeah, it was dark in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what did Drake say? You gotta play them angles. Yeah, it was just bad lighting. Just bad lighting. Wow. Okay, so your turn. Any questions? Any questions? Ask to a black woman. Anything. What you got?
I don't know. That's kind of weird considering. I don't know. How do you feel about modern feminism? There you go. Something like that.
Modern feminists?
Yes.
Ooh.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you mean by that. There's 2 ways to define feminine. I tend to use the broader definition, which is simply a person who believes in, the mental, the social, the economic, the political equality of women, right? And so I fall into that camp. You could also think of, a lot of people define feminists as a specific movement at a specific point in time with a specific, agenda. Like, in the 20s, it was women's suffrage. In the 70s, it was getting women's rights in the workplace. Today we're probably more in terms of just trying to get parental leave and all that kind of stuff. So I consider myself a feminist. I'm a Black feminist. I'm obviously a woman who does a lot of things and has been very, successful in my own right. And so I'm not a traditional woman in any sense. So I'm not going to fit into the traditional mold that even somebody like us, Kevin Samuels, might value me, right, in terms of like youth and beauty, basically, right. What he preaches essentially is that your value as a woman is in your youth and beauty, right? And that's basically it. And that's something that obviously is going to run out real fast, right? Because you can't stop that process. So I'm a modern woman. I am a feminist. I don't need a man for absolutely anything. I certainly want one, and have a great partner, right? But it's something that I want and not something that I need. And I think that is a benefit to me versus women in previous generations who literally needed a man to survive, to feed them, to have a bank account, to have access to life at all. And so I'm proud of where we are today as women from that standpoint.
Well said.
Awesome. Told you. All right, so we're gonna wrap it up, but first I gotta give you the spotlight for a second. Just tell the folks, where they can find you, what you're up to, links, so on and so forth, and go.
Yeah, so follow me on all social media at Shelly Says So, SHELLYSAYSSO. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I do think I might have a TikTok, but I'm too old, so I don't be on there like TikToking or anything.
Yeah, we're gonna make one eventually.
I'm a little too old, but you should have one. I'm too old to be on TikTok, but you you should have one. I haven't been, since COVID, I haven't done a ton of performance, but I do still do financial education and teaching people financial literacy. So if you're interested in that, follow The Advisory Store on Facebook. If you go on there, folks can see that I have 100% 5-star reviews as far as helping people learn about managing their credit and just improving their financial well-being overall, as well as doing things like helping them write resumes and put together career strategies and stuff like that. So I do lots of stuff over there.
Well, that is going to be how we close this out. I usually do a running back recap. I don't think it's necessary. We got good stuff here. I thank you so very much for coming on. This was dope. Next time I'm going to have you both as a couple. Like, that'll be even super more fun.
Oh my God, you don't want that. You got a person on this show for that. He'll talk your damn ear off.
Exactly though, but oh gosh, that'll be so cool.
And say some wild stuff.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Like, he's one of my favorite followers on social media. Like, that's one of those, as soon as I get up, like, let me check and see what this cat just said, as long as his account ain't, like, as long as he ain't in Facebook jail today.
He was so mad he was in Facebook jail the whole vacation. He was so mad.
Well, I was following on IG.
I was like, you gotta stop going on the internet and calling people crackers and stuff.
Yeah, it's just epic. That is epic and funny.
We can't say that right here, man. We love our caucus people, man. We do.
So he actually was in Facebook jail this last time because he called someone a nigga, but it was an Asian person. So I don't know, but somehow Facebook put him in jail.
Like, just on GP this time.
But he was saying it in like a general sense, whatever. But
oh
like, this
God,
nigga was blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, no, I'll shut him down. So
he got the feds on his back, yo. He got the Facebook feds on his back.
he trolls. Like, I don't troll, I retaliate. Like, if you come for me, I'ma just shut your whole thing down. But he will like literally go on like Fox News and be trolling them. You know what I mean?
Oh God. The jokes for themselves.
In Facebook jail, because he be like hardcore trolling Trump supporters and stuff like that.
Oh my God. I got time today, apparently, because I'm like, you know that's a lost cause. You didn't need to. Oh, okay. Kane, any last remarks, sir?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we are going to wrap it up. I've thoroughly enjoyed this episode of I Said It podcast. Of course, we'll be back next week, but I also just want to again thank our awesome guest, Shelly Says So. But until next week, thank y'all for tuning in, and peace.
Yeah.